Okay, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. I'm going to use my, never done that before. Ms. Morgan, will you please call roll?
Chair Langley,
Here.
Vice Chair Price, Mr. Barrett, Ms. Musgrove, Ms. Davis, Ms. Kirkpatrick, and Mr. Smith.
We do have a quorum, and I would just like to start out by saying one of my daughters is graduating tonight, so I need to move along. So we're starting right on time today. I don't want to have to leave and us not have a quorum. We have Mr. Duke. What would you suggest that we do with this old business of Mr. Moffitt's? Do we keep it tabled?
We'll try to get it on there in a second because we'll need it for the
Okay.
reporting. But if you've noticed, the Moffitts decided to take a route of basically doing maintenance on their building, by cleaning up some of the peeling paint and then repainting it with an elastomeric coating. They believe that is sufficient for what they want.
Okay. And what about the plywood isn't there plywood? It's gone. Okay.
Basically, it was removed.
Okay. Okay. So what do we do then with this?
Basically, make a motion that this be removed from your agenda.
Okay. Is there a motion?
What number is that on here? So moved. I move that we removed item 1 of old business from the agenda.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and we have removed it from the agenda. Yes, sir.
The next item, I'm going to have to get a key to the sound system.
Okay. 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 Thank you. Okay, the next order of old business is Dr. Miller, a certificate of appropriateness. You can come on up, Dr. Miller. If you haven't already, if you don't mind signing in over there, you should know that. We're missing all of our visitors in the audience today. So we did have the opportunity, I believe we were all there, weren't we? Yeah, to come and take a field trip on, what day was that? Monday. Okay. I know that we have not really had, I know that last session, 3 weeks ago, I guess it was, you had talked about that you were a very patient man in this situation, and I appreciate that because I believe that we need to, we have not really had time to process and go through the reports. We did get the report from the engineer yesterday, I believe, and then something else emailed to us. I'm sounding really bad now, Mr. Duke. I'm vibrating. So, I mean, what do you all think?
Based on the conclusions of the structural engineer Gordon Davis, and based on my observations of the visit to the site as an architect, I also conclude that the structure is not worth saving. I know our job is to preserve when we can preserve, but I feel like this particular property is beyond being preserved.
Okay. Do you guys, and thank you for sharing that, Larry, and with 2 of our members being gone as well today, do you guys see any benefit, any merit in tabling this for a month, and maybe we can get, I don't know exactly, Mr. Duke, how to do this. Maybe we could form a committee and meet separately. Is that something we could do in this situation? I know we've done that before with a house on Wetumpka Street several years ago.
Yes, ma'am. You can, again, that's up to the board at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Delay this until you need to take some action towards moving towards the decision.
Of course.
If that is deliberating this afternoon or forming a committee to basically come back with a recommendation, which might be a way to go since I hear different opinions.
Mm-hmm. Well, and with 2 of our members being out today, with this being such a momentous ruling, I would feel better if we were able to do something like that, if. Sure, absolutely, sure, yeah, go ahead. Any thoughts on this?
I would like for us to hold it for further deliberation. I would like for us to hold it for further deliberation and whatever that would entail, retabling or whatever the.
I think maybe a committee would be good.
Okay, okay. Ms. Cheeks, do you have anything to add?
I agree with both of those things.
Okay. Mr. Duke, how many are on a committee? I know that it can't, of course, be all of us, because then we would be in session. I'm catching on to these things.
Regardless, I know that
So would we need to designate those members today, or can we just make a motion that this is what we would like to do?
it would probably work best if you decide to go that route,
Uh-huh.
the chair needs to decide who the committee.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Dr. Miller, I'm sorry.
So if I could formally withdraw my request or whatever.
Okay. If that's what you feel like you need to do, okay, okay. Joel, how do we need to do anything since he's
You
wanting
don't,
to?
you don't feel like waiting 30 more days to,
I'm just not getting the sense that, I think there's too good a chance that we'll be back with this. I guess I'm getting some, vibes is not the right word. To me, it's so obvious that structure, having talked to, Skip Jones and then Gordon Davis, I was there during the career, and I learned a lot. I mean, that guy's, I couldn't have picked a better person in terms of somebody that has touched buildings and assessed buildings like this. And so I just feel like if, from my perspective, sort of it speaks for itself, and yet I really challenge myself on a day-to-day basis to try to put myself in other people's shoes, because I know everybody comes to the table seeing things differently. And I had 12 years on the council. I know there's deliberations, there are things that aren't always easy to decide, and certainly this is not something this board has faced before. You've never had a request like this. So it's not something I expect you to do quickly or easily or readily, but, at the same time, this is the second meeting, so I'm just not, I guess I'm not that confident that it's going to be, resolved in I guess I'm waiting, and I just don't have that sense of, so.
If we could shorten the time frame to within 2 weeks, would that help? If we could do what we need to do instead of 30 days?
that, we've never been faced with this. Like you said, you understood, but it's just something that I think if somebody wants to come back and say, y'all didn't think about this enough, or you didn't look into it enough. We just got the report yesterday. I didn't get to read it till today, but I mean that's
You just got this structural engineer report?
Yesterday.
I did not even get it yesterday. I never saw this until I sat down here today.
So with that, I'm sorry, I didn't appreciate that you just got that yesterday, because there's a lot of that needs to happen. I had to read it, I bet you I've read it 4 times. So with that, yes, I agree. I withdraw my request to withdraw my,
Okay, then,
withdraw my request to withdraw my request.
so did you have a question?
no. I was just no. I did just read it this morning, and so
I skimmed through it.
Since I am in construction, one of the biggest problems I saw with this particular project is the layout. It's designed where there's a door on the left that goes in directly into a room, a door on the right that goes directly into a room. There's no order to this layout at all. Now, to go back and maybe put a central hallway or a gallery down the center, that means you've got to go all the way to the ground and take the brick piers out, completely redo the foundation. And I don't think it's feasible. And that's why I think that we are the committee. Us don't do another committee. Us just look at the evidence and vote.
Okay.
if Tom wouldn't mind, I'd still like to. I mean, we could probably meet sooner. I don't know if people vacations and all that kind of stuff.
That'll be difficult.
Depends on who's on the committee about who's going to be in town.
Let me ask this, Tom, if we wait the full 30 days, okay, or whatever, 4 weeks, can you get a more detailed, definitive design of what you're wanting to put on this piece of property? I know that Larry had suggested that would play, and I think Larry's mind is made up already, but that would play a role for him. That may be something to avoid time down the road if we could get a little bit more detail as far as that goes.
I can make an effort to do that, but
You don't want to invest too much. I get that. Yeah.
thank you. I had mentioned that before. I don't want to go out and start getting architectural drawings and hire an architect to do that kind of stuff. What I do want to assure you, and I realize, that's not worth whatever paper it's written on. One, I've never been a country club doctor. I've never had that lifestyle. I'm not about building some big mansion. I'm not about building some stainless steel and glass thing. First of all, I know be approved, but I'm not about all of that. And so the things I know I like, front porch, all the amenities that from a few years ago I saw that are the guidelines that this group uses to say yes or no on, a new project like that. I like all the stuff over on Hunts Alley, but I don't know how far I can go with
Right,
that.
got it.
It's not going to be a 3,500 square foot house. I mean, I'm in that age where, we're in that last stage of pre-retirement. I do want some beautiful gardens. I got all kinds of opportunities. I've been collecting rocks. If you drive my house right now, you'll see them. Hauling them down from Randolph and Clay County over the past 10, 15 years. But I do want to do that part of it. I don't know. I'll do whatever you want, but I just don't know.
I guess I was just coming from the standpoint of helping to save you time down the road more so than us. I know Larry had talked about that, but that was more my thinking, was a timeline kind of thing for you. So that's fine. I totally understand that.
It's not, you don't get real serious about that kind of thing until you know.
For sure.
Get serious about it. If this doesn't work out, we're going to build that last house, because we're in a 2-story house right now. And I don't even have that designed. I don't have because that has to go with the environment, the neighborhood. It has to fit. It has to, as you know, this house essentially could be considered to have 2 front yards because the back is going, even though you put some shrubs and whatnot, you're in a very visible, prominent kind of, and that's what makes this such a dream and such a beautiful place to live.
And I appreciate your coming before us and you having this idea and this dream, and I value that as someone wanting to come in and invest in our downtown. So I'm thrilled that you're not withdrawing your withdrawal at this time.
Make sure nobody thinks for a scintilla that I'm going to try to flip this or get in there and demolish that house and then subdivide or do whatever. This is my dream for Linda and me to have a home and have grandchildren that can go play in the water, and I'll be playing in the water.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
So 2 weeks versus 30 days, that's the material.
Oh, we totally understand that. I just received the report yesterday, and then with us just coming on our field trip on Monday, I think we all, except for Larry, would like the opportunity to just kind of digest this and read over it in more detail, if that's okay.
I did not.
A couple more times and they flip.
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
I didn't get the report until I sat down here this afternoon, so I haven't even read it at all.
In my mind, cement.
Solidify, you're right.
I have the impression that this is not a workable. And should try to do that.
Right, okay.
So I appreciate you getting me to get that.
Are there any other questions at this time for? No? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Is there a motion at this time? Well, according to Mr. Duke, and at my request, I would like to form a committee, and us have a designated time that we commit to get together before our next meeting. So it's my understanding that the motion would be that, yes, we want to table this, form a committee, and work on this over the next couple of weeks. It's okay, it's okay. Just trying to formulate a motion here. Okay.
Didn't we make a motion, didn't we approve on the, for 60 days last time? So do we have to do that again, or we said we were going to hold it at least 60 days? The time frame. Right, right. Well, no, I just meant,
Does that motion
isn't
stand?
that motion still, the 60 days still effective, since we said?
You basically brought it up and discussed it today, so I would imagine that that's not.
Okay, all right.
Basically, if you're concerned about that, you can make as part of your motion to hold until the 23rd, basically withdrawing that initial 60 days. If the board votes to move forward and holding until the 23rd, that's sufficient.
Just make a motion. Just make a motion.
Okay, I move that we hold this item until the next regular meeting, and a committee be appointed to look into the structural engineer's report and any other discussions might want to have before we make a decision.
Second?
Well, I would like to amend the motion saying that the committee needs to be formed before then and meet before the next June 23rd meeting.
Didn't I say that?
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Discussion.
Discussion, sorry, Larry.
I still
Our other two, the committee, it's my understanding, the committee would consist of our board and have the opportunity for Jean and Will to have input there if
Well, I'm
they're
all for us
appointed.
having a work session and ironing this out, but I don't see the point in doing a committee. That's just my viewpoint.
I guess I was kind of looking at it as the same thing. Because it's going to have to be an open meeting irregardless of that, what we call it, right?
If you're going to meet as a whole, a work session would be, the reason you would have a work trying to appoint a smaller subcommittee, subset of this group to sit down and discuss it, then that's what we just call it, a committee. If you're going to meet again as a group, the whole group, then that's going to be a special call meeting. And you can do that too. There's nothing to keep you from it. If the desire is to just come and make sure everybody's present and everybody has a chance to be heard, then maybe a special meeting would be the best way to go. And you can actually, at some point in this discussion, you're going to cross over into deliberation. I can guarantee it. And it might be better just to go ahead and have that special meeting.
Well, there's a motion and a second on the floor.
Okay, amended motion on the floor has been seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Nay?
No.
And the ayes, no? Oh, there were, okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All in favor, say aye. Raise your hand. Chair votes nays. Okay, well, the ayes win.
I just
Yes,
would like
Ms.
for
Hughes.
us to come up with a timeline that what I'm understanding right now seems to be very vague as to when and if we will get together, and in the interest of Dr. Miller's time and Mr. Evans and all of our time, and entering a summer season where everybody's going on vacation, I would feel better if we could have some sort of better idea of when we're going to do this.
My motion was before the June 23rd regular meeting. To have the committee to meet and report to the commission on the June 23rd meeting.
I don't know the feasibility of setting a date because Ms. Morgan would need to check the availability of rooms for us. So I would say, I mean, within the next 10 to 14 days, we want to do this. Like I stated earlier, 2 weeks. We would like to do it within 2 weeks. So then we'd have 2 more weeks before the regular scheduled meeting on June 23rd. Does that work? That's good. Okay. So we really need a professional for this because y'all are taking me deeper and deeper into uncharted territories here. We still had a majority there, correct? So we're good with that. Okay. All right. The next order of business is a certificate of appropriateness for an alterations on a new front porch and re-roof at 246 Wetumpka Street. If you'd like to go ahead and come sign in. We have seen you a time or two here, Mr. Holscher. Good to see you. If you would just kind of give us an overview of what your request entails. Understood. Okay, let's let Mr. Duke come up and give a staff report, and then we'll have you to come up and be available for questions, so don't go far.
Okay, did I understand the metal roof is just gonna be on the porch this? Initially, you're right.
What color roofing are you looking at? I'm sure it says in here somewhere. Silver. Okay. Yeah. What is the timeline that you're looking at, excuse me, Matt, for for finishing the porch?
Given plans to two builders to get estimates, and both of them have said, not interested unless you get a certificate, because we're not going to fight that battle. And so I don't even have a price.
Okay. We're really nice people up here. I don't really know what they're talking about.
Issues in the past. But we were going to pull out all the flowers and toss them in the street this weekend. All the bushes, and start ripping concrete out.
Okay.
I'd like to have it done this summer.
What about what Mr. Duke has recommended? Because yes, it would be not good for us to permit the use of the Trek deck at your home when across the street with David, of course, it's the wood. You can make those adjustments, I presume?
Yeah, I'm fine either way. But
Okay.
I've researched the Trex, and it's super durable. I'll never have to be touched again. But
That makes life a little too easy for you.
it is expensive. And I have access to all the wood in the world.
Okay.
I'm indifferent on that.
Okay.
I'd like to speak to the issue of the Trex. The application that was turned down is not comparing apples to apples. That was a number 2 southern yellow pine material, pressure-treated material that was turned down because it shrinks when it's put in place. This Trex material will not shrink. It's a permanent material, and when it's put down, you really never have to touch it again. But if this committee says no on the Trex material, personally, I'm okay with the tongue and groove wood material that's on most of the other houses.
Any further questions? Okay, is there a motion, if there are no further questions, deliberation? Is there a motion down here, guys, with the adjustment of the floor?
Since I drew the plans, I probably should not make the motion.
Ms. Jeeves, would you like to make the motion?
I make a motion that we grant a certificate of appropriateness to Mr. Holtscher for the items listed.
Now, with the adjustment of the...
Yes, with the adjustment of the tracks and the tongue and groove that Mr. Smith mentioned.
Okay, is there a second? Not using the Trek and instead using the tongue and groove flooring that Mr. Smith...
She said using the track.
No, she said...
Not using it.
Right, not using the
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Larry? Well, okay.
That's okay, because still got a quorum even if you.
Okay, so it has passed. All in favor say aye. Larry abstained, but it has passed. All right. Where are you? We're good to go. Just let us know when you're throwing the flowers and the bushes out, because we may want to come by at that time this weekend. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Mr. Duke, is there anything else we would need to discuss? Okay.
Are you gonna appoint a committee? Or are you gonna wait?
Yes. Yes, that's why I'm looking at you.
I think that will give you the chance to ask questions and deliberate among yourselves and maybe arrive at least the beginnings of some kind of decision. I detect that there's a lot of questions, which I think this probably need to be an open meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be working with a committee, but I think those questions go across the whole group.
You saying like a committee of the whole?
Right, it's basically a special meeting devoted to nothing but
Oh, okay.
Tom.
this the proposal for 115
Mm-hmm.
Main Street. And if you have questions ahead of time, it might help if y'all would submit them. If you submit them to me, submit them on the applicant, individual questions, so that we can start to get some idea of what they need to answer.
Okay.
But I think that may be the best way to go.
So do we need to change? Do we need to change anything, or we're good? Okay.
Motion's still good.
Okay.
Approval to hold it, still good. It's just you as chair, but then you just kind of work with
Get with it, Ms. Morgan.
Morgan and try to find a time.
Okay.
We'll also try to get with the applicant to make sure they can be present.
Okay. Okay.
I think it'd be good if the commission took this structural engineering plan with them out of the folder, took it home.
Okay.
Instead of-
Good plan.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Joel. All right. Is there a
I move
motion?
we adjourn.
Second? All in favor say aye. Chair votes aye, and we're adjourned.